Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm going to give you 15 book recommendations which you can read during this cozy, gloomy, rainy season. And if you're wondering, this is a bookmark which I made at a recent fun event so that अब मुझे इतना आगे नहीं पकड़ना पड़ेगा. यहाँ पे I can hold it, okay? So I'm gonna go genre wise because I usually associate rainy season with particular genres, which is like everything dark, gloomy, high stakes, thrilling. So that's what I associate it with. So fantasy, cozy fantasy, thrillers, cozy mysteries. What else? It should either have mysterious or thrilling vibe or cozy vibe or a magical, whimsical vibe. So that's what I go for. Let's go through the genres one by one. So the first genre I have here is a fantasy. I have some hype books which are truly worth the hype and some underrated gems which you should definitely read. So there's a mix of both. So the first fantasy book I have, it's a duology, but I'm gonna consider it as a one story. So that's how I have noted them down. So technically, you are gonna get more than 15 recommendations. If you like that story, you can continue the series or you can stop at one book so that you can have more books to choose from. The first duology is Six of Crows. It has that perfect, cozy, gloomy, plus high stakes vibes. Like you will get that rainy vibes, like rainy season का जो weather होता है ना वो vibes through that book. So there are some thieves, thugs, people who do shady things, and they are given a very high stakes job to execute, and they are going to perform that. Basically, there's one leader who's gathering a group to execute that job. So that's what we are seeing. It's like it will take you some time to get into the story, and it would be better if you have read Shadow and the Bone series, but you can directly get into this. There are some minor spoilers, but not a lot. Like you wouldn't feel like बहुत कुछ spoil हो गया है. But of course, it takes after Shadow and the Bone series, so थोड़ा तो spoiler मिलेगा ही. It's like that. Start slowly because we get to know all the characters, what is going on, what the current situation is, where they are living right now, and then the story starts. So it's very important to get to know everything. But once you hit the highest part, it's so good. Especially if you start Six of Crows, you must read the second book. Like, you'll have that feeling कि मुझे पढ़ना ही है, मुझे जानना है कि क्या हुआ आगे. That's what you get in that story, and it's so good. It's worth the hype, honestly. Usually, what I recommend or what I follow is if a book is hyped, I don't keep those expectations in my mind. I just go with lower expectations so that I can actually judge the story based on the story and actually enjoy it and not just think अरे ये तो hyped है तो इसमें कुछ और मिलेगा नहीं. It's okay. It's like everybody loved it, so that's why it's hyped. That's it. Or most of the people loved it. ठीक है. The second recommendation in the fantasy section is Carry On series. Oh my god, you need to read that series. If you are a Harry Potter fan, you must read it. Like there are so many similarities. There's a school, there's a magical school, there's a chosen one, and there's a group of friends which will remind you of the golden trio. So if you liked Harry Potter series, you will enjoy it. I listened to the audiobooks and they were so good, especially the second book. I loved the first book for what it was, but the second book was my favorite in the series, and I would read it again and again if I could, because I don't really read it a lot of books because इतना मुझे टाइम नहीं मिलता है, and I feel like के I'm missing out on new books and new stories and undiscovered stories जो मेरे लिए undiscovered है. So that's why I don't really reread, but I constantly think about that particular series. Like I'm regularly thinking about those characters, and I really want to keep on visiting that world. I wish it would have gotten an adaptation, but I know it won't be happening because it's very similar to Harry Potter. So, but you should read it. You must read it if you love Harry Potter, and even if you don't read it, it's a really good fantasy series. And the first book is very similar to like the setup of Harry Potter, but then it is doing its own thing. I enjoyed it a lot. Then let's talk about cozy fantasies. So the one which started the genre cozy fantasy is Legends and Lattes. So you must read it if you haven't already. So this magical creature decides to leave her previous job, retire, and start a coffee shop. But she's starting this coffee shop at a place where nobody knows what coffee is. So she's introducing them to a new beverage, and we see her from going to the place, figuring out all the things, buying a place, renovating it, and then starting a cozy coffee shop. It literally is what it says on the book's front page, that is high fantasy, low stakes. It's exactly that, and it's really good. If you read high fantasy books, high stakes high fantasy books, then you won't like this book, honestly. But if you like those cozy vibes and if you keep that in mind, कि हाँ ये cozy book है, then you will definitely enjoy it, and it's perfect for this rainy season. Another cozy book is The Spell Shop. So our main character works at a library and her library burns down. So she goes back to her village and her childhood home and she starts a jam shop, which is a front for a magical shop. So she starts selling magical spells to people of the village, which she got from the books. It's super cozy. You can read it in any weather, honestly, but spring or rainy season is perfect because there are storms coming. It's always very stormy there. So it's perfect for both of those seasons. It's very cottagecore. Of course, there's the cottage, then there are some berries and jams in the making, there are books, then there are so many magical creatures. It's so cozy. You must read it. And the her sidekick is a spider plant and he talks. He reminded me of Olaf so much. So if you like that kind of a dynamic, you should definitely read it. Okay, I forgot to tell you why I don't have all the books here because they are in storage. Hooper. So I am not going to in the not here in actual storage loft. So I'm not going to take them down. It would take me a lot of time and बहुत सारे boxes है सब में से सब कुछ निकालो वापस रखो. It's like a workout for an hour. I'm not doing that. It's too much. So I'm sorry if you don't get to see me holding the books, but I really enjoyed them. So read all of these books. Okay. So let's talk about the mystery books. And in mystery, I have some really good books which you have seen around and some which you haven't seen around. So the first book is an underrated Indian mystery series. Like it's a cozy mystery series because the main character is not a detective, she is a sleuther. So we can technically call it a cozy mystery. And the series is called Bangalore Detective Club. It is set in Bangalore. And it's a historical series. Okay, so it's set in I think 1900s. We see Kaveri, Kaveri and Ramu, if I'm not wrong. That's what the series' name is, Kaveri and Ramu, because they are the main two characters. Actually, Kaveri is the sleuther, and her husband is the doctor, and he always helps her. So that's what I know, and that's what I remember. I've read the first two books in the series. It's like cozy mystery. Murders are happening, and she is figuring out. She is sleuthing, and she is figuring those out. Sometimes it's easy to figure out who did it, but sometimes it's not. There are some plot twists which are necessary in murder mysteries. So they are good. Sometimes you won't be able to figure them out. So it's fun to read such books and highly recommend it. Then I have another sort of cozy mystery. Technically, whatever, wherever a police or a detective is not figuring out or not solving the murder is called cozy mystery because they're the normal people who are trying to figure out the murder, right? Anyways, so it's the Maid series. So our main character is a maid at a grand 5-star, 6-star hotel. So that's where she is, and some murder take place. In the first book, she gets blamed, and she is the last person who saw the victim. So now she has to clear her name. So that's why she starts sleuthing and figuring out. Sometimes people think that she is weird, and at the same time, she is a maid, so people ignore her, and that's how she is always in the background. But she is always noticing things, even though she gets unnoticed. There's a found family aspect to that book. All the characters are so sweet. So you should read the series. The third book in the series just came out. So perfect time to binge read that series. The next book I have is another cozy mystery. I love cozy mysteries, so that's what I read a lot. And it's a proper cozy mystery. Like there are so many cozy elements to it. It's called Murders at the Great Diddling. So a mystery I don't remember. An author goes to this cozy town to stay there and get rid of her creative block and start writing a book. That's what she is there for, but then a murder takes place, and now she is trying to figure out who did it because it's like I think she is a mystery writer because she starts figuring out okay, if these people were character of my book, how would they react and what would their motives be and why they did it and where they were at that time of the murder. That's how it starts. It it has the best vibes. Like the cozy vibes are on point. Like I'm waiting for the next book to come out. and I don't usually wait for all the cozy mysteries next parts to come out. So it's a good book and it's a good series. So highly recommend that. Then I have some thrillers because thrillers are perfect for this weather, and I crave for thrillers personally. The first one is The Reappearance of Rachel Price. It is exactly what the title suggests. Rachel Price disappeared 15 or 17 years ago, and then a documentary is being filmed on her disappearance after 15 years, and her family is helping to make that documentary, and Rachel Price reappears. So now we and her kid, who was 2 at that time, I think 2 years old, is trying to figure out why she reappeared, where she was for 15 years, and the plot twists will hit you. I have never figured out everything what goes in the Holly Jackson books because she weaves the stories in such a way that everything is there. Like every single detail is there. It's not like she didn't give that detail to us. But by the time we reach the end and when the revelations start happening, it's like कि आप भूल जाओगे कि आपने वो पढ़ा भी था, and you will forget that you have to connect the dots. Like it's so thrilling and so fun to read. Like it's heart pumping and I love her books. Highly recommend that. All the thrillers which I'm gonna mention now are very heart pumping. What is going to happen is I have to binge read it, otherwise I will not be able to sleep kind of a books. So that's the general idea, and I'm gonna give you both the books and quick summaries of those two books. So the next book is called The Last Word, if I'm not wrong. मैं हमेशा उस बुक का नाम गलत लेती हूँ, and I have recommended that book with a wrong title to a friend, and then I'm like, okay, wait, ये cover नहीं है. Like, wait, I'll search on my Goodreads and I'll send you that name. So this is the book. Our main character is house sitting, and it's very at a secluded place. There's just her house and a neighboring house, which is very far. Like बीच में कुछ नहीं है इसलिए उस घर में दिख सकता है, अदरवाइज इट्स टू फार, यू कांट इवन हियर और यू कैन जस्ट सी द पर्सन, अदरवाइज और कुछ नहीं हो सकता. सो इट्स वेरी सिक्लूडेड and she's house sitting and she is just reading books because she has nothing else to do. So she reads books and then she reviews a book and she gives 1 star, and then the author comes at her house to ask her why she gave it 1 star. So it's like कि वो अकेली है, आजू बाजू कोई नहीं है, there's no cell service, she is alone, and then it starts raining and it's so thrilling. You must read it. Another thrilling book is That's Not My Name. In that book, what happens is our main character wakes up after an accident and she remembers nothing. A police officer takes her to police station, but then a man comes there who tells that I am her father and he has everything like documents, photos, everything. So after thorough background check, the police lets her go with that man. But आपको पता है ना कि क्या होगा, or rather you have that idea, rough idea, right? So that's what is going on. At the same time, it's not a spoiler, it's on the blurb that a guy is trying to find his lost girlfriend. So that's what is going on. Two, we have multiple POVs because we are seeing two different places at the same time, so there are multiple POVs. And again, it's like कि आपको I have to know कि क्या होने वाला है आगे. Must read books. Then I have some magical middle grades, and they are perfect for this cozy weather. My ultimate recommendation, like I always recommend, and you should read it even if you are a reader or a non-reader, or even if you don't fit that age group. They are so good. The world is built very well, and the magic system is fun. The books are called Pages and Co. That's the series name. There are five books. So the magic in these books works like that some readers can go inside books and wander inside a story, meet the characters. Sometimes the characters come out. It's so fun. There's so much happening in these books. And there are stakes, like people can get lost in the stories, like how we get lost in the stories. The world building is in a such a way that relate to it as a reader, so it's so fun. Every reader should read that book. Like you must अगर कुछ नहीं तो वो पढ़ लेना, और अगर नहीं पसंद है तो मुझे बताना भी मत, ठीक है? Because it will break my heart. That's how much I love that series. And then I have a very cozy magical middle grade, and it's called A Wizard's Guide to Defensive Baking. Exactly what it says in the title, that everybody has some sort of magical ability in that world, and then our main character can bake things and they come to life. So now the queen or the king has called her to help with defending their land and their kingdom. the commentary is that even if you have an ability which you think that it's not that amazing or not that powerful, but you can use it, and you if you utilize it, you can use it to do anything and everything. That's what it tells us, because baking sick, who has defended a kingdom, right? So that's what we see. It's so cozy, you must read it, and thrilling at the same time, because there are gingerbreads who are going to get some jobs done and you are worried for gingerbreads. So it's perfect, you must read it. And then I have some dark academia plus, I don't know if this one considered as dark academia, but it gives that vibe. Okay, the first one, it's called Inheritance Game. It comes in the mystery slash thrillers, but it has that vibe, kind of a book. You must have heard about this series already because it's really hyped. And it's good, honestly. Especially the first three books. I haven't read Baki ke books, so I can talk about only these three books. And what happens is that our main character is an orphan and she has nothing. And then she gets to know that she is chosen as the person who will get all the inheritance from this one billionaire. And she gets invited to their castle or their bungalow, their huge house. But here's the catch, that that guy has a huge family. He has kids, grandkids, and but then he chose this one orphan girl. So we are seeing and we are figuring out with the main character that why she was the chosen one. There are clues, there are riddles, there is a lot of things happening at the same time. There's also a love triangle, which is not my favorite. That's why it was never my six-star books. But otherwise, I really enjoyed the books. I finished them in like 3 days. 3 days, one day, one book. I binged them. And the two actual dark academia books which I read were one, Wishes, two best friends who go to college. So they do a project for their academics, and then things go wrong. 10 years later, one is in jail who just goes, he breaks out of the jail, and then he's going after his best friend, former best friend. So that's how the story starts, and we see what happened in college, why the situation is what it is. So many great characters, so many insane things. Again, it starts slow. I mean, I started it 3 times and didn't really continue it like 10 pages ke baad. But then once you hit like thoda aage, like one third of the book, then it will be like you don't want to put it down. It's so good. It was hyped back then, like after, like 5 years ago. It was very hyped and for the perfect reasons. And then the last series, which is not complete yet, but I want it to be completed. I am waiting for the last book. I think it's the last book, but I'm waiting for the third book. As of now, I know that it's the third book. And it's the Ninth House series. It's a well known Dark Academia book. Again, for the correct reason. So the main character goes to Yale because she has magical abilities, and for that, she gets a scholarship to go to Yale and change her life. She is, I think, orphan and she has nothing basically. So she chooses to go to that college and change her life. But then things start going wrong. She can talk to dead. She can see the dead, I think. It is dark academia, like anything. Like that's the best. I mean, I haven't really read a lot of dark academia books, but this one was really good. And I honestly loved the second book more because this one has dark academia vibes. The second book has more of a fantasy vibes. I mean, that element is very heavy in that second book. There's mystery in both the books. So murder takes place in the first book. So that mystery is getting solved in it as well. Second book was a 5-star for me. Absolutely loved it. It's been a year since I have read that. I think more than a year. I don't know. I am waiting for the next book to come out and just waiting. So those were all the books which I highly recommend for this season. I have some more, okay? I have some more. I have written down two lists. It's like बहुत ज़्यादा bombarding हो जाएगा. So I didn't really share all the books in the one single video. So if you like this video, let me know. Drop any rainy season related icon in the comment section, and then I will definitely share the part 2 of this video. And I will give you more and more recs because I have a lot of recs and a lot of books to share, and I want people to read all of these books. So don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and thanks for watching. Bye.